Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. And trust me guys, it works. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And the best of all, it is totally free. Yes, totally free. So download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Recording. Welcome to the Broque Boy Podcast. That's my girlfriend that just explained one of her stories. She'll introduce herself here in a bit. The audience is waiting, babe.
That out.
That's a story that engages.
No!
Why? Okay,
No.
It's raw and unedited, and it will be explicit.
No.
Yes.
I will not participate in this.
Look at me like that. Here, I'll move the mic a little bit like that so it can be in between both of us, just so it can pick up both of us. Are you gonna speak? Why don't you speak? Introduce yourself, baby girl. Come on. Introduce yourself. Or you want to introduce yourself? Come on. Got some water to hydrate, right? But introduce yourself, baby girl.
I'm Trinity.
You don't have to you can talk like right here, but I put it right here in between us with the sensitivity all the way up, just so you can make sure both hear us at the same time. So yeah, but introduce yourself.
I just did. I said I was Trinity.
That's your name, and keep introducing yourself. So, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I work at Walmart. And
How long have you been working there?
I just hit 3 years.
3 years.
They definitely did not want to hear that from there.
I think they did want to hear that.
They definitely didn't want to hear you clapping out loud. Voices from there.
It's fine. It's like midnight over here, but when it's uploaded, it'd be like 8 a.m. And so, it'd be fine. And where else? I also know you have another job. Work at a hotel. Explain just what you do over there.
I strip.
You strip.
I'm just kidding. I strip beds. I take.
Yeah, you strip.
Technically, I strip. Just not my clothes. I mean, the bed sheets.
That's a bit sussy. Yeah, the bed sheets. You strip the bed sheets. How does that add? You don't strip your clothes. You strip the bed sheets.
Now everyone on the podcast is going to think I'm a stripper.
No, you actually work at a hotel. I know that.
For clarification, I work at a hotel. I take sheets off of beds once people check out.
She strips sheets.
I do not take off my clothes for money.
How's it been working over at the hotel? How's that been?
I mean, it's alright.
It's alright. Any crazy stories that you have? And for how long has it been? Like a month or so? They've been working there?
I mean, some people are gross.
Well, explain, what has happened? Take us in the world of a hotel worker. What has happened? What is the craziest shit that you have seen?
Actually, well, I don't know. I haven't seen, something bad. Some people just don't, pick up their trash, and some people, blow their nose into the sheets. But other than that...
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
For sure, no. We leave tissues in there. Definitely could get up, but they don't. But one thing that I did learn was that you were supposed to tip the person that cleans the hotel room. I did notice that when I started working there, a lot of people leave a 20 in the room for the housekeeper, and I didn't know we were supposed to tip housekeepers.
Are you technically considered, when you're stripping the sheets, are you technically considered a housekeeper, or is it the true main housekeepers that clean?
Oh, well,
Are the ones
I just
that keep
take
it?
the sheets off the bed. I'm not special. They do all the cleaning. They clean the toilets.
Well, I know
And
that,
and all that, so they deserve it more than I do.
Well, I know that, but they don't say, hey, you can keep this tip, or you can keep part of this tip.
For sure, no.
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 They just say, fuck you, I'm keeping my... This is my fucking money.
Yeah, kind of.
Fuck you.
Yes. Some of the housekeepers, I don't know. I can't say bad stuff about them.
You don't have to say their names, but you can say stuff, but you can't say their names, because for clarification, it's not gonna...
For sure, no. I will not say nothing bad.
Why are they all bitches?
No.
You're a little bit hesitant there.
I'm not gonna talk down on anyone on the podcast, okay?
You're not talking down, you're just explaining the truth.
However, I will talk down on some Walmart customers, though.
Start with that.
Okay, I will tell you about the day I had today. Okay, so first, there was... We sell furniture because I work in the home department, and there was some displays that we have set up, like some dressers and some whatnot. I don't know what else. Futons. But we also had a display of some office chairs. Well, some dumbass decided they were going to cut the zip ties that were holding down one of the office's chairs, take it off the shelf, which is heavy, so I don't know how they got it down without breaking it, but they got it off the shelf, and they were sitting there messing with it, and then after all that, they decided not to buy one, and they just left the chair sitting there in the aisle, and when I walked past the next time, I saw 3 kids messing around on it, pushing each other in it down the aisle, and messing around in it. Meanwhile, their mom is on the phone gossiping with some lady. I don't know, but she was, like, really getting into it. And I made eye contact with this mom, and she just looked at me, and then she told her kids... Mom. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, definitely, like, the Karen haircut, all of it.
Oh.
And she looked at me, and then she looked at her kids, and she said, "Kids, get off of that." And I'm like, wow, thank you, that did so much. That's why they're definitely playing with the beanbag chairs as well, throwing those around right now, because what you just said really, really showed them. So, that really made me upset, because I had to pick that heavy-ass office chair up and put it back on the shelf, and my boss is going to be mad at me because I didn't zip tie it down again, because I don't know how to use zip ties.
How do you not know how to use zip ties? You're from Nebraska. We still live in Nebraska. How do you not know how to use zip ties? That's like the most Midwestern thing you need to know. Like, every high school supposed car mechanic that claimed he's a car mechanic, but only did it because he worked with daddy, they used zip ties like a motherfucker.
Well, I mean...
Their zip ties were...
I mean, I could probably use a zip tie if I tried, but I didn't try that hard.
Oh, no, you didn't?
No.
Oh. God damn.
The second story is, I was in the candle aisle, and I was doing some zoning in there, and if you don't know what zoning is, then you clearly haven't worked at Walmart, because they push that hard on you, and once you work there for longer than a week, you'll have it engraved in your brain, and it'll haunt you forever.
So, in other words, what she's trying to say is zoning is just the act of kind of just basically cleaning the aisle, so make sure the products are moved forward, it looks nice and neat. If there's any trash, any stolen items, take care of it. Just make the aisles look neat.
Make all the stuff back in the right spot, whatnot.
However, the problem is not all the time is going to be always zoned. So when And if you're closing and there's still people, especially if it's during the summer, you're gonna have, your high school teenagers messing around, and while you're trying to zone, and they're gonna just keep causing a mess. They're gonna mess it up to the point where it doesn't look like you did anything, and now here you are having to explain to your boss that you did something, but he doesn't believe you that you did do stuff, and now you're over here trying to convince him that you did, but he's already mad at you, and so
that is about the exact story of my life. But no, seriously, zoning is pointless because no matter if you do it, people are gonna touch it, and we spend hours and hours and hours on it. And it's not just like a one-time job and it's done. It's an everyday thing. Zoning will never be done unless we stop having customers. But if Walmart didn't have customers, they wouldn't be a business. So I guess we have to deal with it. But anyways, besides the point, there was this guy, and he was looking at the candles. He was smelling all the cheap ones. He was deciding he didn't want the cheap ones, so he was looking at the expensive ones. And he was not liking the prices of those. And so he looked at the very top where we put top stock, which is basically just products that don't fit on the shelf. So we put them on the very, very top shelf. So that way if the products on the shelf do go empty or one sells or whatnot, we can just take it from the very top shelf and put it where it goes on the normal shelves where people can get them, so we don't have to go all the way to the back to get it. But anyways, on the very top shelf we have location markers that help the store stay organized, and that's how the app knows where stuff is at and whatnot, is because of location markers. So it just numbers the shelves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, simple whatnot. A guy looked at the location marker. There's clearly no dollar sign in front of it. Nothing that indicates that that would be a price of anything. And he asked me, is all the stuff on this very top shelf $1? And I just looked at him, and I started to laugh a little bit because I could not think he was serious. And I was like, no, sir, that's just where we put extra stuff that didn't fit on the shelf. And he's like, oh, okay, so the stuff up there is not $1? And I was like, no. Why would we put it up there where you can't reach it if it was on clearance? Some people, he just didn't want to buy the $24 candle, which no one does, but he should have definitely thought harder about that one.
Some people aren't the brightest. Some people, you can tell, have never worked retail, and you can tell when they walk in there and the way they treat you. It's just clarification that they've never worked retail, so they just don't know how people are. Like they don't have respect for others, and so then, when they come in, and us retail workers, I feel like we get most of the bad. Like we get a lot of the bad rep, but a lot of times it's because of the customers that will want to do that get us to our breaking point because they're being annoying, they're being privileged, they're being entitled, they're just being dumb, they're being a bitch. Like, what else do you want us to do? Like, stop being a fucking Karen. Let us do what we need to do. If we're helping you the best we can, we're helping you the best we can. Like, what? We're not fucking corporate. We're not a robot. If we don't know the answer to it, we'll try to search it up and help you. I mean, the fuck are we gonna do?
I mean, I'd just like to say it's not that deep.
It's pretty deep to
It's
me.
not that deep. Not that deep.
Pretty deep to me. Still a bit traumatized.
Well, on a different note, there was a lady last month, like I said, about the displays. We have displays of all the appliances, so like mixers and air fryers and microwaves and all that and whatnot. But these displays are non-working displays. You can't buy them. They don't have power cords attached to them. It just doesn't work. It is simply just a display. and a lady came through and just took the display off the shelf and put it in her cart, and she tried to go up to checkout. Well, since our displays, they're non-functional and whatnot, so they ring up as 1 cent because we're not supposed to allow customers to buy them because they're not for sale. They're literally useless. So it was ringing up as 1 cent, and this lady, she was excited. She's like, oh yeah, I just got this microwave for 1 cent. And so they tried to tell her, like, there's no power cord. You're not going to be able to plug it in. It doesn't work. It's simply just a display. She argued with them for like 10 minutes. She's like, yeah, well, I don't want to take the one that's in the box. It's more heavy, and it's a pain in the butt, and I just want this one because it's already out of the box, and I'm taking this one. She just refused to listen to them. The next day, she came into the store, and she went to customer service, and she was trying to return it, and she told them, yeah, I paid the full $40 for this microwave, which she didn't. She paid a cent because it's a display, and she told them, yeah, it doesn't work. It's a bad microwave. Like, it doesn't even turn on. Like, the light in it doesn't work. And we just simply looked at her, and they told her, we're taking the microwave. We're not going to give you any money back. And see, it's just, some people are so dumb. They don't listen. When we tried to tell her it didn't work, she didn't listen. So then she had to waste her gas to come all the way back the next day to argue with the customer service people because she didn't listen the first time, and she just wanted to be lazy and didn't want to buy the one that was in the box.
And that always surprised me when you tell them something and then they don't listen, and so they come back to yell at you about that thing you told them about that they didn't listen about, and then here you are looking at them like really? Like, really, my guy?
I feel like that's a daily thing with customers anywhere. Some people just don't listen. One guy tried to buy the display, but he was actually doing it right because he broke the plate that spins in the microwave, the glass plate that spins in there. He broke his, and he needed a new one. And since we don't sell just the glass plate in my department at Walmart, the displays have a glass plate in there. So he wanted to buy the display that rings up as 1 cent, just so he could get the glass plate that spins in there for 1 cent, and he wouldn't have to buy it online. Which, I mean, I'll be honest, that's pretty smart. No one think of that, but then it's like, why do you take it? Why?
I know. Well, what do you think was going through that guy's head when he was doing that?
He was like, for sure, I'm going to get this for 1 cent.
It's like, fuck it.
He's like, I don't even have to go through the hassle of getting it online, waiting for it to get here. Like, I need something to cook in my microwave tonight.
Like, isn't most of the stuff that's on display, like, almost glued down to where you can't really take it, and it's to the point where some of it's probably made out of plastic, while the real thing is made out of full-on, like, aluminum and all that fun stuff, but yet they don't, like, do they not feel the difference when they're like, oh, you know, this one's actually really, really light, and, you know, this plate could be authentic, could be a real one, however, it's attached to the microwave.
Yeah, they don't think, I mean, some of the displays, like the microwaves and whatnot, the doors open on them, and the plates inside spin and whatnot, and the buttons press. So it's like a functional microwave. So I could see how some people could think that it would be a real display, but like for the knives are different because we don't put real knives in the displays, obviously, so the knife displays are much lighter than the actual box, but people still try to buy those, and you can't take the knife out. The knives are like glued in there, but some people are like, it's okay, like, I'll just force them out when I get home. It's like, well, if you can take it out, but it's not going to be a knife, it's probably just going to be a plastic piece.
or just the wooden handle that they just have in there, shove it in there, glue it really good, just so if anyone were to take it out, it's not a true knife, and then they can't just go start stabbing someone. And even if it was a plastic knife, I mean, the fuck are they gonna do? Just start stabbing you?
I mean, I don't really know how they would get it out without breaking it because it's really, really glued in there. But like I said, it's much lighter, so whatever it is, it's probably not even a knife because it's light. It's lighter than the boxes that have real knives in them.
I mean, either way, some people not interest me, but I guess you can say interest me, but it intrigues me, I guess would be a better word. They'll find a way. If there's a will, there's a way. And they will make sure that they can get their hands on whatever the hell they need.
I think that Walmart gets a lot of bad rep. Like, I think that people think that only crackheads shop at Walmart, but that's because crackhead behavior has been normalized at Walmart. I think we need to stop normalizing it there because us workers are tired of dealing with it. We're tired of kicking kids out every single night, and yeah, I don't know. They should just go mess around somewhere else that's not inside.
Like Target. They need to go mess around at Target.
Sure, anywhere else they want to go. I don't care.
I mean, cool. Because I mean, if you look at the Walmart, like the demographics and the age and all that, compared to Target, at Target, the one that I work at, you'll see a lot of high school, college kids, maybe older adults, younger adults to like full grown parents, like actual adults, sometimes like older ones. However, at Walmart, other than maybe the closers, some closers, most of the time the workers there aren't even like young adults. They're just full adults to older adults that have just become zombified to that store that they don't leave. That they're just there. And so some don't even look like they shower every day. Some that's probably why it gets bad rep, because of just how some of the workers look and how some of them act. Because if you can stick a needle in your arm, Walmart will hire you.
That is not true. I do not support that. I don't support that at all.
Target, yeah, you have to make sure you know the CEO in order to get hired. So that's how it is. I don't know why Target's hiring process is so much more fucking difficult, but it is what it is.
You call me a proud Walmart associate. He say that I'm never gonna leave Walmart. He say I love it too much. He think I have an emotional attachment to it, and I don't. I do not have one of those.
She does have an emotional attachment, because right now she's. Where are you going to college? I want you to say it. Where are you going to college?
Southeast.
There you go. They're like Southeast Storm or some shit like that.
Don't ask me a mascot. I don't know.
I did not know you go to that college. Aren't you repping your school? You're not repping the squad.
I only been there a year.
A year should already know. Like UNL, if you've been at UNL for a year, people will start rocking all the merchandise. That's how it is. But anywho, she's getting her associate's degree in not human resources, human services, to become basically a CPA worker. No, not CPA, CPS worker. My bad. And
he has no clue what he's talking about right now.
I do. And so that's the career she wants to do. However, her with Walmart, it's been her first and right now only job for right now. I feel like she will get emotionally attached to it. She's not gonna want to leave it, even if she gets her human services degree. She's not gonna want to leave it.
I for sure am. It's just a college job.
Because then she's gonna tell me it's just a college job, and then from it's just a college job to, are you gonna be mad at me if I decide to stay with Walmart? Because, you know, you can still get human resources. You know,
services.
No, from Walmart. You can be HR. You can get your HR certificate and have the human services knowledge, but be doing HR stuff. But I mean, there's no hate. I mean,
you think I'm
no
gonna stay with Walmart? It's just a college job.
Okay.
You guys, it's just a college job.
Okay, yeah. Let's wait. Let's wait 3 more years, and then
in 2 years I'll have my 5 years badge.
Exactly. No person that says that's a college job would be that interested in their 5-year badge.
Yeah, but it'll say 5 years on my badge, and it'll be a flex to me.
Oh, okay. It'll be a flex, they say.
I started when I was 16. So.
Oh my god.
That's how I met Marco, was at Walmart.
That's how we met. I talked shit about my manager there, and then we bonded. I never shut the fuck up. She got annoyed.
I'll tell the story better than how he tell the story, because, you know, he walked out with me at the same time we were leaving one day.
And then I talked shit about our manager.
And he said,
because I thought she played Dungeons and Dragons.
You interrupted me. And I'm trying to tell them how you talked to me, and I agreed with you that our manager was, however, a horrible manager. And I agreed, and I just kept walking, but you just kept talking, and so you followed me to my car, and you kept talking, and you opened the door for me to get in my car, but you still kept talking, and I was like,
with respect,
trying to pull out of the parking lot, and you still kept talking, and at first I thought he talks so much. He talks,
and I still do.
Way too much. I cannot do this. He talks way too much. But yeah, now I kind of love him. So.
Oh, kind of.
Oh, shut up.
But yeah, in conclusion, she's probably gonna have an emotional attachment to Walmart. And
why are you still on this? We're past this.
You sure about that, Chief?
We're past this.
Okay.
You're the one that has an emotional attachment to my job.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Because fuck those managers there, you know, the store manager, HR there, fuck them.
I don't condone that message.
As like they're gonna hear it, it's gonna only have like 2 listeners. Relax. 1 to 2 listeners, and that'll probably be us. So
I don't condone the message.
Oh my god. Any other crazy stories? Manager stories? Your team lead? The whole drama and beef with your team lead?
We are absolutely not going to talk about that.
Why? I'm not friends with your team lead.
I don't care. We're not talking about. I don't condone this message. If you're hearing this, I swear to God, I do not condone this message. I never tell him anything. He just come up with stuff. He lie.
They're not even listening. I don't even have it on Facebook or anything. Twitter, Instagram. I don't have any of that. So
I don't care.
Fine.
Not condoning the message.
No. You sound like you're getting interrogated and you're trying to plead the 5th.
No, I just don't want to talk bad about anyone on the podcast. Except for customers.
Any other stories? What about, I know this is this store that you work at, which is the Jamie Lane one. What about the one back in Scotts Bluff? What stories do you have on that? Because you were in a whole different apartment. You were front end with me.
Actually.
And sometimes security. AP. Asset protection.
So, asset protection at Walmart was my least favorite thing in the whole world.
For clarification, she barely did her job.
So, in asset protection, you're supposed to ask people for their receipts. You're supposed to ask them for their receipts, and you're supposed to check on there all the big items, all expensive items, whatnot. But the thing is if you're at Walmart, an associate asks you, "Can I see your receipt?" and you say no, we can't do anything about it. We can't chase you. We can't say, "No, you have to." Like, we literally have to let you walk away. So if you want to steal, you can steal. Like, I just feel like asset protection does nothing. The only people that we catch stealing are people who accidentally forgot to scan something, people that are willing to show us their receipt, and they forgot to scan something. So that's how we get that. But most of the time, like, unless you're the secret shopper, because the secret shopper is the person that can pull you into the office and call the cops on you. But us, just people at the door, we can't. So it's like, when I was in AP, that was when COVID was booming, and I just cleaned the carts. And if I didn't clean the carts, I did nothing. I stood there. I said hi.
Stood and talked a lot.
I talked a lot.
To your coworkers.
I had some good coworkers, though.
I was one of your coworkers / boyfriend. Because I was the cart pusher. Well, I was front end, so I would do like cashiering, cart, self-checkout, all that. But most of the time I was cart pushing. And let me just tell you something. Cart pushing, other than Cap 2, which is just a loading truck and stocking the freight, cart pushing is one of the most intensive jobs over at Walmart. Like, again, other than Cap 2, because yes, you're dealing with less customers. However, those carts can get fucking heavy. When you stack a lot, those carts can get heavy.
Let's just note that he want to push 50 at a time. He want to be a try-hard and push like 2,000 at a time.
GG.
So he think he has a lot to say, but us persons that use the mule, which is the electronic cart pusher, has a remote. Us people that use that,
never used it correctly, because you'd always get in trouble because
we were only supposed to have 20 carts on it, but I put more.
You put like 40, and so you want to get.
I had a coworker that put 100 on it.
And here's the thing: for all the cart pushers, I was the one that had to deal with most of you guys' problems.
He was the daytime person. He threw a fit. He also threw a fit the day that it was like graduation and everyone was there buying stuff for it. And yeah, he think he's special, but really we were talking about me. So, anyways.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm just kidding, kind of. But I was just telling them about AP and how one time there was a grandma, a mom, and a grandkid, a little girl. She came running up to me and she said, "Hey, can you please help me find my mom? Can you please help me find my mom?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, well, what does she look like?" And then that's when the mom came past.
She ugly bitch. Just kidding. I don't know. Continue your story.
I know he did not interrupt me for that right now. Anyways, the mom walked past, and I knew it was her mom because they looked exactly alike. And I was like, "Oh, look, I think she's right there." And then that is when the grandma, she had a cart full of stuff, like filled to the brim. She just run out the door. The little girl was a distraction so they could steal. And I was like, ma'am, I need to see your receipt. Because at that point, I was freaking out. Like, I have to do my job when somebody's running out the door. Otherwise, I look like a horrible AP person. I don't want to look like a horrible AP person. So I'm like, ma'am, I need to see your receipt. And they just kept running. And I couldn't do anything. Because once they're out the door, they're out the door. So I continued my conversation with my coworker after that.
It's kind of sad with that little girl, though. I mean...
I know, right? Like, the grandma and the mom are not setting a good example by making her distract the worker to steal. That's how people raise bad children in the world. Yeah, so anyways, it haunts me at night because I really wish I could have stopped it, and I really just got fooled by a 7-year-old. But it's also sad in a way. But it's also like, whatever they had in their cart, it wasn't even food. Like, it was just shit. Like...
She's a Fortnite emo duo.
Like candles and like I don't even like blankets, like brand new bed sets, and like it wasn't even like anything that I could understand someone stealing, like food or diapers or like stuff like that. It was just dumb shit. I don't. Yeah, so for sure they didn't need it. For sure they were just stealers. I told my boss about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they done that before, but you know, I mean, I guess they just do it a lot."
It's kind of there's kind of no point in being AP then if you can't really do much.
Yeah, only the secret shoppers can. But
And most of the time, the secret shoppers, if they're not doing their job, then they're in the office or out and about doing their thing. And so then when you do catch someone, honestly, or want to catch someone, it's kind of hard because then they're over there doing their thing, and then
they're obvious as heck too. Like at my old store, he had a very unique appearance, and at my new store, he does not do a good job of hiding himself. Like he just be talking to the workers. He just be walking around. He just be walking in and out of the back a lot.
He was like a 40-year-old virgin.
He's definitely not even 40. He's like 25.
Like a 40-year-old virgin.
Definitely no. But he just got a haircut. It's really bad, but
yeah, fuck it, right? I need a haircut.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is they either have a very unique appearance which people can stand out, or they just do not care about being secret and just be talking to workers and be walking in and out of the back a lot. Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know how they're a secret shopper when they're not being very secret.
Fuck it, right? I mean, as a cart pusher, you know,
he just want to cuss on the podcast.
I mean, I'm letting it. Apple might have it as clean.
He just want to cuss on the podcast. He just want to fit in. My podcast. He just want to fit in.
It's my podcast. Because it'll be, I don't know if Apple Podcasts is going to have it as explicit. And I might have to tweak some stuff and put it as explicit. However, you know, with car pushing, you know, we would get some of the crazy stuff too. Like I said, we probably wouldn't deal with a lot of customers. However, some of the shit that we've seen, like fucking one night I was closing. There was no true team lead. That beeping always happens. I think it's them above us. They make a lot of noise. But anywho, I was closing. There was no team lead. There's no true team lead. And there's only the backup. And so I had a walkie. However, I think my walkie was dead. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it was dead.
Not the walkie. Jesus Christ.
And so, I'm going to straight out say it, crackheads, meth heads, whatever you want to call it. They were arguing each other. It was a man and woman. They were arguing each other. The woman gets in the car and just screaming. The man just keeps cussing and all that fun stuff. And she turns on the truck. I believe it was a truck or a car. The man keeps cussing at her. And she's basically screaming, "I'll fucking run you over. Like, don't test me. I'll fucking run you over." And so what does she do? She doesn't run him over. However, he jumps in the hood of the car, holding on for his dear life, and she's trying to drive away, screeching her tires, drives away with the man on the hood. What could I do? Stand there and watch. What am I going to do? Be a Superman and fucking stop that car? I couldn't call managers. I couldn't. None of the team leads. My walkie wasn't working, so I had to send someone in to go get one. And even then, the backup said, "Well, I don't know what to do. I mean, call the cops." I'm like, "Well, they're gone now. What are the cops gonna do?" And that's just one of many stories that I have from out there. And
Walmart used to be overnights, and when COVID came, we started to close at 10 o'clock, and there was this one guy who wasn't having it because he was old as hell, and he pulled up on a bicycle in a Speedo. Yes, a Speedo. And he was yelling at us because we were taking away his rights
Bro,
by
that song.
not. We were taking what? We.
She was probably poking.
Stop.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I already was traumatized enough.
Okay, but continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yes, you did. You always be doing this. Anyways, he pulled up and he thought that we were taking away his rights because we wouldn't let him in 5 minutes after we closed. And he said that because Walmart was no longer overnight, he was never going to shop with Walmart again. Which is my favorite thing when they say, I'm never shopping with this company again. It's like, whether or not you contribute $1 more to this company, it will still succeed without you.
I mean, it just benefits the stock shareholders. That's who really all it benefits. So
Yeah, so that's my favorite when they say I'm never shopping here again. It's like, well, with this attitude, I don't want you here. Goodbye.
Damn. What? Well, it's not Zam moment.
It's definitely time for you to go to bed.
Yeah, it kind of is. I've been up since 4 in the morning, technically.
But he made me stay up for this.
Exactly. Well, thank you for my guest who also lives with me. You know, she didn't want to be in here, but she now is. Anything else you have to say?
No.
Oh my god. Well, thank you for hearing the Broque Boy Podcast. I'm your host, Marco, and my guest, my girlfriend. And we'll see you next week.